Alright guys, welcome back guys. So I've been testing this deck even more, right? To try to understand it and see which way to take it, what route to take it, how to build it properly, how to make it the most consistent and the most viable, right? But what I noticed is that it's very dependent on what the meta is, right? Like any deck, that's how you, like if it's an extra deck based deck, it's very reliant on what the best deck is, because that's how you put cards in. Because there's gonna be formats where Tornado Dragon's amazing, but then there's formats where it's like Tornado Dragon's just does nothing. And like right now, Dweller's amazing, but there's been formats where Dweller just was complete like bad, right? You just didn't do anything. So that's what I noticed with this deck. Like the extra deck you can only, like, I guess the staples, like you play like these guys, right? The Leonite, you play the Dragite, and then you play the green one, and then also you can play the Synchro Climb, which is a level 8, right? Because you go Mega, Crystal Wing, and any other. This is where you start going to the territory of what's the use of this Synchro, right? Or this extra deck spot? Like what's the whole reason for it? And that's what I noticed with this deck, is that it's based off that. But from what it does and how, like this card right here is so good. That Koa'ki meiru thing, it's amazing, because like it's just another negate. It's just, and it's not once per turn. You can summon multiple copies. Like look at that. Watch, you see what I mean? Look at that. You just summon it and it's there. All you're gonna have to do is have a rock, and you have like an immense amount of rocks in your deck, because this deck is a rock deck. So you just reveal it and it won't die, and then the either player's turn, and when an effect activates, you can tribute itself and negate it. So that stops Nibiru, which is huge, and it's a level 4, and it lets you like another good thing is that apart from it having synergy from being level 4, lets you Synchro Climb, because you can multiple. Look at this crazy. But anyways, apart from this, right? Apart from having synergy of being level 4 to climb to 6, you can even rank up and exceed with it, which is what I like. And then on top of that, you could even use the Adamatia sign, the reborn. You could bring this back. That's crazy. So you can like go Nibiru, tribute negate, and then you just bring him back, and it's so good. Look at this. This is crazy. Like what the heck? Like dude, I don't know. But yeah, I've seen a lot of builds that are incorporating some weird stuff, like just try to higher the ceiling. But like I'm not sure that's the right way to do about it, because already the weakness is like, if you've addressed the weakness, right? And the issue is the ceiling, because the ceiling isn't as I guess as impactful as you would like it to be. Then that's when you increase the ceiling and add cards, right? But the issue still is the normal summon, because like let's say you're facing an Orcus board, right? And they have the standard board with the Unicorn play, the IP play, and then they have the Girsu play. Like if they interact with your normal summon, your turn's basically gonna end, and that's what you don't want to happen. And understanding that is how you're meant to be deck building. Understanding the weakness and then focus on its strengths, right? Like, cause like the weakness is much more vulnerable, and it's much more exploited when you play competitively, because like people will know what the weakness is, and they'll just gear towards it and then just shut you down, and that's what you don't want. Cause like we know what you can do and accomplish if everything goes all well. Like we know, but that's not like how the deck is meant to be well rounded. And this card's amazing. This card right here, dude. Like, what I notice is that most of the time, like, you need a level 4, or right? Because like sometimes you open up a bunch of these guys, the non-tuners, like the level 4s, and like I've seen people playing like just like a generic like full-time Thrasher, or like something that special summons itself if you don't have a monster, and then normal summon, right? But like it's still like it just doesn't have any like, how do I put it? It's not versatile enough. Whereas in my situation, I'm trying out Instant Fusion, because Instant Fusion is very versatile. You have two options: go into your Thousand Eyes Restrict to like force and bait stuff out, right? Or you can just go into your Mud Dragon, which is the level 4, and it serves as the purpose as a level 4. And so you can exceed with it or synchro with it, which is why I prefer it, right? Like this is what I mean. This is a perfect example. Like of course you get Ash, but this is like, of course, like that's just how it is. Like it's, okay, normally, okay, let me pause this real quick. Normally, because like of course if you were to have Ash or Imperm, of course your turn will end. But this is like a weak hand, and weak hands are not meant to be winning, right? That's the whole point. That's the variance of the deck. That's the variance of decks. That if you open up weak, and you get interrupted, then that's the whole point of it being a weak hand, right? Is you weren't expected to push past what you intended to do. Like right now, I wanted this to resolve, and luckily he had no interaction, so it resolved. So the deck just saved itself. But if you didn't have this play, if you didn't have the instant fusion, you would just be stuck with just the a Nibiru and Imperm Pass. You know, like that would be awful. So normally, what I notice is that when that does happen, you just go for this guy and you use instant fusion and go for this guy. And this guy always, majority of the time, if you open up that bad, you search for Researcher, because Researcher is different from the other ones, right? You just gotta control rock, which is what I like about it. And the other ones, you need to have an animation card, and or your opponent has to have like a card and you don't. Like no, this is really good. This is a good starter, a good extender. Look at that, dude. Look at that. This card right, the Koa'ki guy, is so good. It's super good. Look at this. And this guy just extends you even further. So it's like basically, if you open up bad, this guy. If you open up semi bad, this guy. And look at the fact that you have Utopia double is amazing. Like at first I was like, wow, that really is good, right? And at first, this is where I was trying Twin Twisters, because I was like, okay, maybe if I try to cover all the bases, but I noticed that it's better if you side this. It'll be much more beneficial, because you need this would have been instant fusion, right? So it would have been a much better option right now. And but yeah, this is what you get for trying and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And what I came to the conclusion was, you need another level 4 body to be able to go into this guy. This is what I mean. See? And this guy searches any of your guys. And this just extends your play, and it's so good. Look at, oh my god, look at that. You can just summon this guy, spell and trap negate, a monster negate. You have Imperm, you have Twister. I mean, this would have been something else, but like, you know, you have Ash. Like, dude, you're not like, this is so good. And if this survives, this guy right here, you just search again, and that's what I like about it. Okay, look at this guy. This guy made some weird ass plays. I don't know what this guy was doing, but yeah, like this is what I mean. Like, when you open up like this, when you can't get 2 bodies on board to at least get the exceed out, you're struggling, because like that's the weakness of the deck inherently, right? That's based on the mechanic of how it was designed. I'm not sure if that was done on purpose. I mean, or it just so happens to be that way, but like that's just how it is. I don't see why he didn't like mind control my guy, and then his math would have resolved. I mean, I had Ash. So I mean, it didn't matter, I guess, but like, still, like, why not? You know? No, he just tributed the rock and negated the Ash. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like, you have to pay attention, otherwise you're just gonna get like lose for these little mistakes. Like, what? Why would you not mind control? Like, why wouldn't you mind control? That's just pointless. And then now he's just gonna lose. Look at that. This card is not being 1 per turn is amazing. I think that's kind of what saved this archetype. The fact that it's not once per turn, that's really good. And I'm like, oh, go for a game, but he's gonna be at 300. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hope for the best. I mean, I have both traps. I have Ash. Negate. He just takes it. There's more starting to negate it. I was like, well, what can you have? Oh, this is something you have to worry about too, because this is what I learned the hard way. So this one you have to pop 2. You have to. So you gotta make sure they have 2 cards, otherwise you can pop your own card. Look. See? I popped my own card. I was like, what the hell was that? That's so whack. Attack. But that's one of the things. Like this is what I mean. Like, people are trying other ways to raise the consistency, but the consistency is pretty decent enough to not have to want to improve it. Like, of course, improving consistency is always like priority, but like this is not the answer. Like, if you went second, like and they open up like decent at least, you would lose. you straight up would lose, and that's what you want to fix. And this guy is cool and all. Like, it sets up the reborn, but you're not always gonna have the reborn, and that's something you have to consider as well. Look at that. And Ash Blossom. Right here, I'm like, oh my god, hopefully he doesn't get any of the traps. He gets his field spell. Field spell. Gets the Crystal Wing. I'm like, okay. He has no back row, so I'm good. So just 1 interaction from what I understand. And this is where I was getting kind of better with the deck, and like you can connect it's like you can sequence everything properly the more you understand the deck compared to when you first pick up the deck and you're like, okay, what the hell do I do? But now it's like you know what to do, you know exactly what to maneuver, and this is what I mean. Because you know what the end game is, you know what the end result is, you know what the end play, the priority play is. Look at that. And I'm just gonna bounce everything. Everything's gone. Look at that. So I'm gonna have a spell and trap negate and a popper. Like that's decent. That's pretty good. Negate it. And this is where I was testing out Metal Marcher. Like I was trying out maybe that's the answer, right? Because like you have a level 2 and you have you should restrict. You take something, right? And you make your Metal Marcher, bring back the tuner you just made it with, and then use that to make to synchro into the either this one and bring another level 4, and you have Metal Marcher, and Metal Marcher in that level 4 will turn into like a dragster or any level 4 that, and there's level 7 that you would want. But I don't know, like right now, see what I mean? If I didn't review Kukimiru, if this is something else, I would have just gone dragster and just but yeah, but I just decided to keep the Kukimiru because I think the spell and the spell trap negate and the monster negate it's more versatile, it's more dynamic. And yeah, I was going up against a lot of mirrors, and I've seen a lot of people playing Cobble the Grave, but I just don't think it's worth it. I don't know, like some decks, like okay, it's cool, House Stop Hand Traps, it's really good against Orcus, but I don't know, like I just didn't feel like you actually really need it. I don't know, I just my personal opinion. I might be wrong, but like I just feel like it's. I didn't feel like I needed it. Like I don't really need it to resolve the excavation effect to resolve. I just need to be able to maintain bodies on board to extend past interactions, you know? Because like the Call by the Grave, what if like I don't know? It's a weird. It's an odd discussion about that card in this deck. And considering they're playing Dyna, like I understand it's a rock, but like I don't know. I prefer this guy. I think this guy's much more versatile because it doesn't lock you out. You can still synchro. Like look at this. This is such a win button, like just a win button. Boom, one punch. It's over. Done. And this is the worst case scenario, right? This is the worst case scenario. Okay, this is what I mean. Because your nightmare is opening up multiple non-tuners and like no tuner. But luckily I opened up a tuner, right? That's like, okay, oh thank God. And so if he interacts with this, right? If he interacts with this tuner, I still have instant vision, right? I have instant vision. I can go into what's his face. Say he interact with it, right? So then I have this play, right? Go into the Exceed, go into Granite, right? And then this is the worst case scenario. Missing twice. Like this is the nightmare for the deck. This is what you don't want to happen, right? This is just what you don't want to happen. Like having a bunch of these. So I'm not sure if inherently you just can't fix this problem. I'm not sure if find a way to utilize these cards if this scenario persists, or if there's a better way to a better rank 4 or a better line of, you know what I mean? It's just figuring out like this weakness is the goal. The ceiling, think about it later, but you first have to address the weakness so you understand, okay, this is how I lose, and I gotta make sure this doesn't happen as often. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how crazy your capabilities are, the deck's still gonna suffer to that weakness, and you don't want to do that. And I try to make a push, and then this field spell's protecting this guy. Can be like, and I'm like, oh, I was like, he has to have the trap. So at this point, I'm not really expecting to win. I'm just thinking like, let's see where it goes, and he just negates it. If I had the sign, I could have gone into what's his face, the water one, and it bounced everything. But I didn't. I just had a bunch of normal summons. And I'm like, okay, don't get the trap. Just don't get the trap, and I'm fine. Because that means he's got to find a way to pop this guy, and he gets the trap. I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, he goes, then he's going to go by phase. He's going to go by phase, right? This guy's huge. Look at that, 7K. Then he just leaves. 1 punch to the face. That is game. So here's the deck list, right? Minor changes. I just basically added. This is bugging me. Hang on. Because it's 41. Yeah, 41. Okay, so I hate how it's arranged like this. Look at that. I like it when it's like this. But okay. Hang on, this is bugging me. I'll put it here. This is in the deck, okay? You know that's in the deck. Okay, so basically, I just added these three because they're amazing when you reveal them off the tuners. You can reborn them with a Adamatia sign, which is a plus. And I'm just reduced, like, because like I kept opening up these way too much. But you don't want to put them at 1 because that means you'll never see them off of Leonite's reveal excavation. So you want to make sure you at least increase the odds, right? And if you see, right, remember I told you, like, I even dared to say that you just play one of each. It works smoothly. You could literally just play one of each because you recycle them anyways. And yeah, and like the extra deck needs work. But from what I saw, this is what everything just went smoothly. Like you synchro climb into your Omega, synchro climb into your Crystal Wing. You have your rank 4 plays, right? You have your Dweller, you have your Hexiton because it's a blowout card. Like when you get overwhelmed, right? You could attach, boom, and then like it's a bait, and then you revive with the signal, and then proceed to try and to synchro climb with your guys. And that's just another way to do it. And then I thought of playing 2 of these guys. This guy comes up way too often. And then of course your Utopia package and your Nightmare package, because like you do this play where you go, you want spot removal on top of what you've already accomplished. Because like sometimes you just gotta link these away so you can recycle them, and then so you can synchro into them. So you go like link creep, or you go Thousand Eyes, take, link it away. You'll use the effect of the tuner, bring back 1, right? And then you link them away into your Phoenix, and then you just climb into Unicorn, and then after that you just go like animation signal, and then like just, you get what I mean? Like that's the whole point. Like so far the extra deck was smooth. I like how it goes. Of course I've tried these guys as well. Weeping Idol. You can move from play 1 tuner and special, and then from your special from your hand. This is pretty neat. But I don't know. The Gigantes, like you can play it too. It's another level 4. You just like it's all these things, but they require setup. And the deck, like if this doesn't resolve, is like kind of whack. So like it depends, because like the Unicorn play with IP, I mean, this is what I meant. Like it depends on what the best decks are at the moment, and then that's how you decide what's good or not. But yeah, so far I like it. I like how it's running. It's really cool. And you have enough interactions, not overdoing it. I can't stress. This card's good. This card's so cool. I'm not sure if you played at 2. I think you could play at 2. Yeah, I think you could play at 2. Play at 2. Yeah, just play at 2. And let me just put this here. Yeah, play at 2. Because you can revive it anyways. Yeah, and then make it flat 40. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks good. I think that's better. But that's it. Hopefully enjoy the video. I'm not sure if I want to keep trying out, because it's very dependent on what the best decks are. And that's the only way I can progress with the deck itself. Now, maybe I'll try and do crazy things where like what's the highest ceiling you can make it, and how crazy. Because now you play Needle Fiber, you can like do all the little cool sequences. But as far as the deck itself and playing competitively, it'll be very dependent on what the best decks are. Because like you could build a standard deck and be generic, like generally good and decent and consistent, but what takes it and makes it win is depending on if you understand the meta and how it's geared towards the meta to be able to win and have an edge against it. But that's it. Hopefully enjoy the video, like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.